Don't you ever feel like beating up 1,000 people all at once after a hard day's work? Well, that's exactly the experience that the Dynasty Warriors franchise provides, and Dynasty Warriors Origins is their latest release after a long period of nothing, since Dynasty Warriors 9 was released in 2018, and that game didn't do very well. So Dynasty Warriors needed a little change of pace. Is Origins the change of pace that they were looking for? Find out in our review. The Dynasty Warriors franchise always tells the same story as the novel The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. The novel tells the story of ancient China in the midst of major social and political upheaval during the Han Dynasty. Central to this story are the titular three kingdoms of Wei, Wu, and Shu. The novel is an embellished, dramatized account of actual historical events in China from the year 184 to 280. Dynasty Warriors is just more embellishments on top of the novel's already fictionalized take on the events. The over-the-top shonen anime, everyone is unreasonably beautiful kind of embellishment. One of those add-ons that Origins introduces is Yu, Shiluan. You play a wandering amnesiac warrior, possessing great military skills. It's because of these skills that you're highly sought after by the lords of the land. And so you fight alongside the greatest warriors of this era as you determine which kingdom is worthy of your talents. So again, the story is just the three kingdoms but with an addition of you, the player character. Jiluan himself isn't much of an addition due to his blank slate, silent protagonist nature. He also has his own story arc which expounds on his backstory. The devs did a good job of choosing our protag's background as it gives an opportunity to be part of history while at the same time not overstepping the main story. However, the unfortunate repercussion of it is that our protagonist's story ends up more like a side quest. While our protagonist is a little bland, we think his greatest role is acting as a vessel to bring out a little more characterization and relatability to our beloved Three Kingdoms cast. We get to see another side of them and they also make us feel like part of history, as interacting with these huge figures makes us feel like we're big shots ourselves. Kind of like how a 2K My Career makes you feel like you're actually part of a star-studded sports team. The story also branches off depending on who you support, so if you're looking for replayability, playing the game again to see the different story branches is an option for you. However, story usually isn't the main point of a Dynasty Warriors game. The main appeal of a Dynasty Warriors game is this. The gameplay goes back to its root of being a mission-based all-out brawlfest, after its failed foray into an open-world format with 9. A return to the good old style isn't the only thing that Dynasty Warriors Origins brings to the table. A certain game's popularity has dominated the action genre for quite a while now. Dynasty Warriors, needing to keep up with the times, has now added a dodge and parry mechanic to spice up its mostly button-mashy gameplay. They do a good job of breaking up the endless barrage of square and triangle, as now you need to pay attention to parry and dodge timings when you're up against a stronger opponent. The last time I played a Koei Tecmo Musou type game was Fate Samurai Remnant. One thing that irked me in that game was the bosses and stronger officers felt like they took away from the Musou gameplay by being a little too sturdy. It really derailed the fast-paced beat people up gameplay that I was expecting to experience. But with this one, it doesn't feel like the stronger opponents get in the way of the pace of this army of one type feeling. Except Lubu. After all the years of Dynasty Warriors, I think we all know better than to go after that guy. And if I didn't learn, I certainly was reminded playing this game. The core gameplay is sufficiently addictive as it is, but it also gave us 10 different weapon types to try out. The weapons really do feel distinct from each other and allow you to experience the battlefield in many different ways. The sword is a pretty good all-rounder, the staff is good for AoEs that feel really satisfying when you're in the thick of it, the gauntlets let you get up close and personal, fulfilling your shonen protag dreams of bare-knuckling a whole group of people by yourself. Later down the line, you'll take control of an actual unit assigned to the protagonist. You'll be able to order them to do several different things like archer volley, infantry charge, or something of that nature. While it doesn't seem big on paper, this becomes a big aspect of the game later on, where you need to break formations and make openings for you and your allies to successfully win skirmishes. The gameplay really does feel fun and satisfying, but we do have a little bit of a problem with the ally officer AI, which is kind of a persistent problem in the series. You'll find yourself having to babysit your allies a lot, going back and forth, making sure they don't die. While I get that the point is to be a one-man army, we kinda wish that we don't actually have to do everything ourselves. If we have to do everything, at least give us controls to manage the different units across the map. While we're at it, can we get controls to order our partner officer too? I'd love it if I could call them over so we can do our Muso attack together when they're goofing off somewhere they're not needed. All this addictive gameplay is accompanied by wonderful visuals. The game looks and runs amazingly well. There are a lot of games nowadays that can't balance visuals and performance, but Dynasty Warriors Origins isn't one of those. Despite there being actual armies on your screen at times, it feels like they optimized the game well enough that most configurations can handle it despite all the characters and effects and everything else that's going on. The effects and graphics also do a good job of putting weight and impact on your attacks. Although if you're playing on PC on a higher than 1080p resolution, the fonts don't exactly keep up with the resolution and are just a tad blurry. Minor nitpick though, really. The game really does look good, sometimes too good, because damn, are these guys warriors or top models? But I guess looking too good is a good problem to have, huh? Ever since, Dynasty Warriors has had hyped up music to go with its hyped up battles. Dynasty Warriors Origins is no exception. High energy electric guitar riffs are staple in the franchise, and are in stark contrast to its ancient Chinese setting, but somehow it works really well still. What doesn't work, however, is another staple in the franchise: awkward voice acting. We don't know what it is about Koei Tecmo, but they just seem to not do English dubs fairly well. Wulong had the same problem back then.
That was a sight to behold. I cannot understand how one as strong as you could have gone unnoticed.
So if you want to do away with the awkwardness, you could try the other language setting. Or you could leave it be and feel the power of their magic! So that's Dynasty Warriors Origins. Like we said, Dynasty Warriors 9 wasn't really the most well-liked addition to the series, and Origins aims to turn that around with a little bit of a reboot. In our opinion, it was indeed the reboot that the series needed. It gave us back the old school style with a sprinkle of some much needed gameplay additions. Visuals look amazing without compromising performance. Audio is as hype as ever. There are a few nitpicks here and there about how voice acting was executed, or how the main character was just or how the ally AI is still dumb as bricks. But even with all those, Origins still proves to be an enjoyable experience. You can even go through multiple playthroughs of the story to see the different routes if you really want to maximize the value of your new Dynasty Warriors game. If you choose to get it, that is. The Dynasty Warriors games may not be known for their complex gameplay, but sometimes all you need is to beat the hell out of something. A few thousand or so of those somethings. As someone who loved the PS2 era Dynasty Warriors, and had a crush on Singtai when he was a kid, don't judge me, Origins made me feel like that kid again, spending his summer vacation mowing down hordes of enemies. Even though Singtai isn't in Origins, which makes it kinda sad. With all that being said, we're giving Dynasty Warriors Origins an 82, for being the reboot we needed and a good step in the right direction for the future of the franchise. Those were our thoughts on Dynasty Warriors Origins, but how about you? Have you played the game already? How are you finding it? Who is your favorite Dynasty Warriors character? Who do you want to see if they decide to make another one? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video. Like if you liked, subscribe for more video game reviews and other video game content. This has been Game8, and we'll see you next time.